Okay, so in this video, we're going to talk about turning empirical formulas into molecular formulas. You are going to need your calculator, you're going to need something to write with, you're going to need something to write on. Periodic table might be helpful. Once you have all those things ready, let's go. Okay, so what we have to kind of remember here is that the way we got to the empirical formula originally is that we take the molecular formula and reduce it to its smallest ratio, meaning we divide every element in that molecular formula by some number. Well, if that's how we went from molecular to empirical, then going from empirical to molecular is the exact opposite. We multiply every element by the same integer to scale ourselves back up. Now, the way that we can determine the integer we use to scale this by is we compare the size of their molar masses. For a molecular formula problem, you will always be given the molar mass of the molecular compound. Let's get some rules set up here. First rule, figure out the mass of the molecular formula given to you, divide that by the mass of the empirical formula, which you'll add up from your periodic table. Once you do that division, that will be an integer, or it should hopefully be really, really close to an integer. Once you get that integer, multiply your empirical formula by that number, and you are done. So let's try an example of this. For this example, we have a compound that's 92.25% carbon and 7.75% hydrogen. I also told you that the molecular formula, the big formula, has a mass of 104.1. First thing we have to do is figure out our empirical formula from this. So what we're going to do, 92.25 grams of carbon, 7.75 grams of hydrogen. Take a couple of minutes, figure out the empirical formula of that compound, just like we did from the previous video. Okay, so we're going to figure out carbon, 92.25 over 12.01 gives us 7.68 moles of carbon. For hydrogen, 7.75 grams of hydrogen over 1.01 gives us 7.67 moles of hydrogen. Now notice here, these two numbers are the same. If these two numbers are the same, the ratio is 1 to 1. That makes our empirical formula CH. Okay, so we have a compound with an empirical formula of CH and a molar mass of 104.1. We're going to take our 104.1, divide it by the molar mass of CH. C is 12.01, H is 1.01, that's 13.02. When we divide this out, this gives us about 8, which means that our molecular formula is 8 times bigger than the empirical formula. So we're going to multiply CH by 8 and get C8H8 as our molecular formula. This is the molecular formula for the compound styrene.